Now, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has declared tomorrow a day of mourning there in Israel. This follows a stampede at a religious festival that killed at least 45 people. But there's growing anger now over the way security was handled at the festival and safety warnings for large crowds stretching back years, which appear to have been ignored. Our Ian Lee is in our London bureau with more on this. Ian, good morning.
Good morning, Errol. We have learned from Israeli officials that at least 4 Americans were among those killed and injured. The U.S. Embassy is still working with local officials to verify if any other Americans were affected. This all comes as Israel mourns one of the country's deadliest civilian disasters. There were prayers and tears as families buried their loved ones. Only hours earlier, they were celebrating an all-night festival of dancing and bonfires. This video captures the moments before the deadly stampede. A narrow walkway where a huge crowd of ultra-Orthodox Jews were heading for the exit. Men began to slip, and the chaos did the rest. Paramedics and police struggled to pull survivors to safety.
Just you heard a lot of people screaming and a lot of people trying to run to see what it was, and then they started carrying bodies out on stretchers.
This young man describes being pinned under several people. It's a miracle I survived, he says, but the night keeps replaying in my head. In the aftermath, personal items still littered the ground. Mourners gathered to search for their loved ones' belongings and answers. Some are blaming the police, saying they blocked off an important side street, causing a deadly traffic jam. About 100,000 people had gathered for the annual celebration honoring a 2nd century rabbi and mystic believed to be buried in northern Israel. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visited the site, calling the disaster a great tragedy and promising a thorough investigation to make sure nothing like this happens again. Prime Minister Netanyahu also said he spoke with President Biden yesterday, who expressed his condolences and sorrow over what had happened. Dana?
You see that narrow walkway, Ian. It looks like a disaster waiting to happen. Very sad. Thank you for the report.